What's going on, guys? It is your afternoon host, Revolution 935, Racquel Goldy, and I'm here, well, not physically here, obviously, because we can't do that. We got social distance. But I'm here with NGHTMRE. What's going on? How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm chilling. I've just been resting a lot, obviously, staying at home and getting some work done.
Yeah. Where in the world are you? Where are you hunkering down?
I'm in LA. I'm in LA right now. So, yeah, I'm just at my apartment. It's kind of out by Malibu, a little more out of the city, closer
wow.
to the beach. So it's nice. Yeah, I've just been kind of relaxing and trying to stay out of the craziness.
At least I was going to say, at least you get like nice weather. Everyone has been writing me, all my friends elsewhere, that are like, it's cold, it's raining, you're at your pool or at work in Miami. And I'm like, you know what, guys?
Yeah.
Right? Like, you just need to see them.
Yeah, that's the best part about being in LA is kind of whenever I come back, it's just nice, always.
Yeah. So. And you've been, I did my research on you before this interview, okay, I had to. And yeah. You did this whole long post, you've been touring consistently for like 5 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, this is kind of a crazy time, but I know you said you wanted to put out an album, so it's kind of forcing you to do what you need to do to be in one place and get your thoughts together. So yeah. What are you feeling right now? I know that was pretty like a deep emotional post for you, I'm sure, to write.
Yeah, I mean, I think, like I said, it was just like the hardest thing for me as an artist has always been like getting show offers and being like, no, I don't want to do it. And especially like the way that we book shows and things, it's like, you know, if it's February, I'm booking shows for October and November, and like, you know, and then November comes around, I'm booking stuff for the following summer. And so like, it's hard. It's really hard to plan that far in advance and be like, yes, I need all this time off, because then I end up doing one show, and then I have my Vegas residency, and then I do my Miami show, and then I have like, you know, my Atlantic City residency too, and then all of a sudden I have 10 shows in a month still, and it's like I'm not getting any rest. So I almost like kind of fell into that pattern for like I said, it was basically 5 years without having like, you know, more than a weekend off. And so this year in January, I was like, fall time, I'm taking off. Like, I'm not doing anything this September, October, November, December, no shows for me, like book everything off except for New Year's. And then, yeah, all this stuff kind of started happening. And so I was like, this is just, I don't know, it's kind of almost seems like it's meant to be. It's like, I wanted this time to rest, and now it's coming earlier than I expected. But it's a good time to kind of sit down and like, you know, look at all the projects that I've started and the music that I really love, and what's, you know, is cohesive together, and what new music I can write. And so, yeah, I've kind of just been sitting down and really trying to think about like what I want this album to be, you know, because there's like kind of, I'm extremely indecisive person just in general, like always. That's part of the thing of just being on the road all the time. But, you know, I you know, one of my biggest inspirations is DJ Snake, and his albums are always incredible. But it's not like a story where you're like listening to it and you hear the first song and you flow all the way through to the end, and it's like this big emotional journey. It's more of just like, these are all my dopest songs, like all kinds of shit. There's house, hip hop, you know, crazy bangers for festivals. And, you know, I love that idea too, but I also like the idea of kind of writing something that's like this emotional journey. And so like, you know, I've just been kind of thinking about all those things and trying to figure out like what I want it to be, you know.
Have you made any decisions? I know you just said you were super indecisive. Or
yeah, not really. I mean, I think I kind of, my plan was to really kind of dive into it next week. Mostly like the last few weeks I've just kind of been organizing stuff, because like I just, same thing where I was like, I was just always on the road. So I was always like just starting little ideas, and usually when I finish ideas, it's when I'm home at the studio. And you know, so I have these millions of random ideas started and all these different collabs started. And so the last like month you know, it's almost been a month now. I've just been kind of organizing all my songs and finishing stuff, and like finishing collaborations. Like I'm doing like just a ton of collaborations that I'm finishing up. So I'm really excited for those. Me and Subtronics just finished a song together. Me and Zomboy are doing a song together. Me and Galantis are doing a song together. Me and Big Gigantic are like finishing another one. And so, yeah, we have, I mean, there's like 10 other ones too. So I'm excited to kind of get those finished, you know, and put those out, and then just start thinking like more big picture for the album, you know.
Yeah. What's a dream collaboration that you would, any genre at all that you would?
Any genre? I mean, I think like one of the thing, I mean, the most like obvious, I think, like I've always wanted to work with Skrillex. He's like, I've met him a few times, super nice dude. We've like talked about it, and we've never really had the time to do it. And you know, he's just such an inspiration for me back in the day when I was just getting started. And he's kind of the dude like at Ultra 5 years ago, put me on the map, and people started listening to my music because he was like playing my stuff in his sets. And so yeah, I mean, he's one. DJ Snake's another one too. But I think if we're talking like outside of dance music, like I've always wanted to do something with a really dope vocalist. You know, I grew up listening to like the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and like Anthony Kiedis was like my favorite dude of all time. And like, you know, I love the Killers. Like, I would love to write something like, you know, with them, or like, you know, something like that where like
That's the vibe.
almost like an indie vocal, like, you
Yeah.
know, or something like a rock vocal that could be cool. That's not like a cheesy, like, you know, something where I could sit down and like, you know, find someone who really has like amazing rock roots, and like, you know, I grew up listening to that kind of stuff, and then, you know, try to make it tastefully, move it tastefully into the dance music world.
Yeah, I mean, it has to make sense, I feel like, but
Yeah,
now
exactly.
because there's so many collaborations that are it's cross genre, I feel like now it doesn't even really need to like make sense because it just kind of does.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of why I love collaborating with people, is because it gives me this chance to like not to make a song that maybe I wouldn't have normally made, or maybe it's like, you know, when I do a song with Dylan Francis, it's like I would never just release my own Moombahton like song, but like it makes more sense if we're working together and we're writing Moombahton songs. So yeah, I mean, I obviously I've put out tons of collabs and stuff, and yeah, I think, I don't know, I would love to get into that rock vocalist world.
I think you should do it. You have stamp of approval, so
If you
do it.
got Anthony Kiedis' phone number, let me know. I'll hit him up.
I'll like call my people, have them like we're gonna totally do it. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite Miami memory? Because I always ask this question, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are always like, can't tell you. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So what's a good one?
I like, you know, I mean, I always have a good time. I'm like, I love partying and going out with my friends and stuff like that. But I'm never like this. I'm never like hitting 11 at 7 a.m. or anything like that. That's just like not my vibe. But I mean, I think the best Miami memory was even before I was playing at Ultra. The year before I played at Ultra, this is kind of like what I was talking about earlier. I went there with Derek and Scott, the Slander guys, and like a bunch of my friends, and we, you know, we had like, it was kind of the first year that I was being managed, and I had like people working with me, and I had other shows, but I wasn't playing Ultra. And yeah, I had like this unreleased song, Street, and I gave it to my friend Snails, and he was like, had put it in a mix, and I guess Skrillex asked him for the song, and so I found out like an hour before Skrillex was about to go on that like, yo, he asked me for that song that you gave me. Is it cool? I gave it to him. I was like, I mean, yeah, is he gonna like play it in a show or something? Like, that sounds amazing. He's like, I don't know, maybe. And so we like ran over to the stage and like got up to like kind of like the front, like, you know, like the sound booth area. There's like kind of that middle front section. And I was standing there, and like 2 minutes after he starts his set, he just like plays the song, and it was just like such a crazy moment for me, because like, I mean, just being in the crowd and seeing like your music up there is amazing. Plus it was Skrillex, plus it was like Ultra main stage, and it was just like,
Right.
yeah, I remember my manager high-fived me so hard I thought he like broke my finger, because I was like, we were just so excited. It was like kind of that moment, and we just knew that it was gonna like make a big difference for us. So that's probably the best.
Was that your moment where you knew you're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Skrillex just played my music at Ultra main stage. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of was. I mean, I always, you know, even growing up and like going through college and all that stuff, like whenever I was doing music, I was just like, that was when I was happy and feeling like I was, you know, it didn't feel like I was working, and I was just like, would get lost in making a song for 15 hours or whatever. So I think that was kind of the moment, at least, where maybe it wasn't like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but it was like, it was just felt like I knew that was going to be the moment where I was going to like break into the industry, like, you know, kind of get my foot in there, because like immediately Matt Decent hit us up and was like, hey, you want to put out an EP? And Alsa hit us up, and, you know, everybody, and I was like, okay, sick. Finally, like people are like paying attention, you know.
You had the moment where you knew it was happening. It was finally like snowballing.
coming together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. That's like the sickest Miami story. That's definitely a good one for sure.
That was good. Yeah, that was awesome.
And you actually have a new remix out today that you
Yeah.
dropped with it's No Service in the Hills from the Cheat Codes.
Yeah.
Those dudes are a riot. I got to interview them a couple weeks ago, and they're so fun and so cool. How did you just like call them up and was like, yo, can I do this?
I think it was kind of like a little bit more the other way around. I mean, I've met them a few times just because we both have Vegas residencies with and so I just met them here and there. But yeah, I think they were just like they just kind of reached out, and their label reached out and was like, yo, we're looking for remixes for the single that we just dropped. Like, we'd love for you to do it. And I love remixing things that, like, I feel like I can bring it from what it is to like a newer level to play live. And I felt like this is such a sick vocal, and the hip hop, it's cool as a hip hop song. Like, I would love to listen to this while I'm driving, but like, I'm not going to play this hip hop version in my show. And so I was like, I really want to turn this into like this crazy, kind of like festival song. And yeah, the chord progression just ended up like, just is really cool and dope. And yeah, I was like I literally had made the whole song, and for the first, until like maybe like 5 days ago or something, it was like this, I had the first drop and the second drop were kind of the same. It was like this huge melodic kind of like chords and brass. And yeah, I just been working on like doing a heavier drop, but it's like so hard for me to do a heavy drop. So like, if I don't love it, I never put it there. So I spent like weeks trying to make one and just never really came up with one. And then eventually, like, finally came up with one, like after I had already submitted it. I was like, can I please just like swap this out? Like, I finally found one I like. So we got it swapped out, and I'm really stoked because now there's like the kind of super happy, uplifting drop, and then like the crazy angry banger drop. So that's cool.
Oh, it's so sick. I was listening to it in the studio, and I was like, this is so good. It's so sick.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I
was
definitely stoked on it.
When festivals are a thing again.
Yeah.
Hopefully it can be played there.
I know. I still have never gotten to play that second drop yet, so hopefully soon.
All right, so I actually have to tell you a story. So a couple of my friends went to Coachella last year, and they saw you perform.
Yeah.
And they were texting me the whole time. Well, not the whole time, because there's like no service at Coachella. But when they got back to Coachella, they were like, Cal, we saw Nightmare at Coachella. He was our favorite of the whole weekend. Like, they work in the music industry. So I was like, I told them while I was interviewing you, and I was like, I've got to tell them the story, because that's a huge compliment. So
yeah,
I mean,
Coachella was like, I mean, I was the last show of the whole weekend too. And so it was like, I mean, I had like, it ended up just being so stressful the whole time because I was the last show of the weekend. And so like the whole weekend I was just like anxiously like, and the first weekend we had A$AP Ferg come out and Louis the Child and like Slander and like all, like I had like 3 special guests that we were trying to organize, and like the show, like there was so much wind that we couldn't use some of our stage production. So we had to like switch up all the stuff, and like, it ended up being like chaos. And then the moment I went on, like it snapped and I felt like it was already done. And it was, but yeah, it was like, it was just such an amazing experience, and Coachella is such a special place. And like, I'm glad to hear that people enjoyed it so much, because
people definitely enjoyed. So, and hopefully, again, once festival season is back, everyone's sets are just going to be like on another level of insanity. I'm so excited. I'm like ready for it.
I think this time will, like, a lot of people are doing, what I'm doing, especially artists and I mean like musicians and art, like painters and graphic designers and all those types of people. Like, I feel like we're going to see a lot of really awesome art at the end of this year, just because people have kind of this like forced incubation time of like really like, being creative and stuff. So. Oh,
absolutely. I mean, everyone's stuck in their houses and are being basically forced by the universe to create. So I know good. I'm excited being in radio. I can't wait to listen to all the new music that's going to be coming out, because I started off in 2020. I was like, guys, this year musically is going to be just on another level. And now it's going to be like taking that level to another level above that. So It's going to be insane. I'm excited to hear your album once it comes out, and I know everybody else will too.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I think album for me, I'm thinking like, I mean, I don't know. I have tons of music that I'm finishing up right now, so that will probably be what I'll do for most of this year is like release kind of the things that I'm finished. And then yeah, I think album time seems like probably early next year or something. I'm like just getting started and I've never done it, so I don't even know what like album time frames are, but hopefully it'll be done this year and then I'll like try to put it out first thing next year.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
It's going to be,
I feel
like you definitely have time. And whenever all my other friends are like making an album, they're always like, it just kind of magically happens. Like I go into it, they go kind of stressed out and like kind of all over the place, scatterbrained, and then it just comes together. So it'll definitely happen to you.
You like that. Yeah, that's good.
So it'll be good. All right. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
Pretty much everything is just at NGHTMRE. So that's NGHTMRE. And yeah, SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. I got it all.
Easy enough, right?
Yep. NGHTMRE.com. I got tons. I've been working on tons of merch and stuff too. So I'm going to be putting up a bunch of merch soon. And yeah.
It's going to be good. Look forward to new music, new merch, everything we want right now.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. All right. I will talk to you soon, okay?
All right. Sounds good. Peace.